Alex.
Hello.
It's really great to be here with you in Tucson. We were at a festival previously, and we did not have a chance to play together. And It was really great playing Mozart's oboe quartet with you, which you have arranged for saxophone, which was really awesome, and you sounded beautiful. So I'm really curious to learn more about the saxophone that you're holding and the other two that you also brought with you, because I really know nothing. So please, start from ground zero.
Okay. Well, ground zero is that we make the sound with the reed. You know, so there's single reed instruments and double reed instruments. Sure. We're a single reed instrument, so we have our reed, and it vibrates against this thing, which is the mouthpiece, and so that makes a super crazy, weird sound, sort of like when the oboe does the caw with the double reed or something like that. This kind of makes a sound like that, but much louder. Okay. And then,
do you use a plastic reed or a
reed? Yeah, like a real reed. No, I use cane reeds on soprano, alto, and tenor saxophones, which are the ones that I have here with me now. Okay. But on baritone saxophone, I use Leger or synthetic reeds because I play it a little bit less often, so I can't keep up the rotation of the reeds in the right way. And also, they're so much bigger, so they're more prone to warping and changing with the climate and stuff. So I remember, I'll never forget, I'm in a quartet as well, and we were doing a competition, and we walked out onto the stage, and I was playing baritone, and I went to play, and just literally nothing could come out. I couldn't make any sound because the reed had warped between me walking from backstage to on stage.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So okay, hold on a second.
Yeah.
I'm back.
Exactly. So that's when I was like, okay, it's not even about just the nuances of the sound. I need the instrument to work when I'm playing the bari. So, and I haven't had any problems like that on the smaller instruments. Great. So, yeah.
And does that mean you have to travel with knives? At all? Or?
I travel with something called a reed geek, which is not exactly a reed knife, but it has reed knife-like qualities. Okay. So it's like a little. Mine's called the Black Diamond, so it's a little black stick thing that's about this size, and each side is a razor in a different way.
I see. Can you get through TSA with that?
I haven't had any problems.
You check it though?
No, I keep it in my backpack.
Wow.
Yeah, it doesn't look like a knife. It just looks like a crayon, almost. But then you get close upon it, it's oh, that's really sharp.
Right.
So actually, pretty dangerous. If you think about it, that I could just get through TSA so easily. Yeah. So I use that, but honestly, I don't use it all that much because I find that sometimes when I make last minute adjustments, that they end up making the reed less good over time. So I try to find reeds that are really, really going to work for me, and then stick with it.
Yeah, sure.
So yeah.
So then, you were saying.
So reed, mouthpiece, and then we put the mouthpiece and reed onto the neck of the instrument, which is sort of an identifying factor of the saxophone. A lot of people know it as the one with the curve, in it.
Is that a separate piece, or is that part of the construction of the
I see.
The saxophone? Do you customize that?
You can. So mine is the same one that came with the instrument, but a lot of people, including me on the other horns that I have, we try out different necks.
I see.
Kind of like bassoonists might try different vocals. Okay. That sort of vibe, and so you can do different materials. So some people like a gold-plated neck. Some people like I've never seen a platinum neck, but now I want to try it.
Platinum. Stephen Banks.
well, I really like silver in general. So all of my instruments have some sort of silver on them. So this is technically solid silver, even though it's tinted a little bit.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because is it plated with gold or something, or
it's just it's got a brushed finish on it, so that because it kind of looks silly when you're on stage and you have a silver saxophone,
that's a big.
Well, I wouldn't say it's a thing, but how do I say this? This, I think, is less off-putting for the audience. Like, it's less distracting for them because it's like, oh, that's what a saxophone looks like. At least that's how I'm interpreting it. My soprano is fully silver, and it's obviously silver. So
you can't get like a rainbow anodized shimmer.
No, but I do remember being like in middle school when I was first playing. At that point, I only played tenor saxophone. And everyone had these cannonball saxophones, which came in different colors and had like, you could get different gemstones on them. It had nothing to do with the sound. Right. But I always wanted like a black matte cannonball with one of the blue stones or something like that.
Yeah.
And
so someday,
but alas, I couldn't
someday you'll graduate to one of those.
Right. Yeah.
So tell me more about this instrument that you're holding now.
This one specifically, yeah. So this is a Selmer. It's a Selmer Supreme model, which is their newest model. It's at this point it's over 5 years old. The model is. This instrument I've only had for maybe a year and a half.
And you had it new.
Yes, I did.
And do saxophones get better, or like what's the lifespan of a saxophone?
Yeah, that's an interesting question. I mean, they can last a very long time, but there's so many parts that need to be replaced. So like if you look and see in there, all of the pads are there. So you have to get
under the
keys.
Underneath
the keys. Yeah, there are these pads that are made from different kinds of leather, and so those have to be replaced because they break and get waterlogged. But
that's like routine maintenance, right?
Yeah. So if you just keep the body of the instrument, you can keep it forever, basically. But it doesn't.
And it doesn't degrade.
Not in my experience. But also, I should say, the saxophone's a pretty young instrument in general. So like, we don't know what would happen in
1870s.
I believe it's 1846 was
46?
the patent.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Wow.
Yes, 1846.
And what was his name?
Adolf Sax.
Adolf Sax.
Yeah.
Okay, right. Yeah.
Yeah. Surprise.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we don't know what happened to them over 400 years, or something like that. But this is only my second alto that I've ever had. And yeah, I from everyone that I've spoken with, they pretty much maintain their character over time. But also, all of the different things that you can change the sound. So like if you have regular leather versus kangaroo leather pads, there's a different feeling in the sound.
Wow.
Yeah, and there are these little metal things inside of the pads called resonators.
I see.
Yeah, so those are directly being touched by the sound wave inside of the instrument. So like the different materials that you can have for your resonator.
Those out.
Yeah, exactly. So people have gold-plated resonators or nickel resonators and
platinum.
Right, platinum. Yeah, so all of these things make something sound completely different.
That's cool.
So it's less about in my opinion, it's less about the perfection of your specific instrument and like kind of I like to get the material that I want and then figure out everything from there. One thing that I do love about the Selmer Supreme is that it plays very well in tune in general, so you don't have to make so many adjustments as you're playing.
So other manufacturers might be a little inconsistent?
Well, even within the Selmer family, just other models. I used to have a Series 2, and those had particular intonation problems to them. A lot of people there's sort of a vocal quality to the sound of the Series 2, which I do miss, but I also love, like at a festival like this, not having to be so neurotic the whole time about like, am I going to be able to play in tune? Like, am I going to have to adjust all these notes, and can I just take it out and play and be fine? Yeah.
You don't want to amplify all the natural neuroses of the string players. Right?
Right. Well, it's also amplified because you just have to do it on multiple instruments.
Oh, yeah.
So it's not like you can, get it right, and then when you go to soprano, it's like, now it's not right. It's like there's no exact correlation between how you're playing on one instrument and how you're playing on another, even though it's like the same fingerings and whatever. But I think of them as completely different. Even I feel like a different person when I play the different saxophones because they're just all so
you just like
so
have
different.
like a little gear that you switch in your head and you're
Yeah, I mean, playing soprano is like being a flutist or a clarinetist or oboist or something like that. And then when I play tenor, it feels to me more like I'm like my actual speaking range, like my singing range. So there's a certain to it, and alto kind of has a. It sort of feels like a viola-like role, like in the world of.
So that's your favorite?
I have no favorite. Whichever one I'm playing is. Yeah, and then of course the baritone is so gruff. Like it's such a different sound. Like you can kind of get some cello-like expressions out of it, but it just to me it doesn't. When I play baritone, it doesn't even feel like a saxophone to me. It feels like some other thing.
That's fascinating though, because you get to just try on all these different personalities, and you walk out on stage. It's like a real reset.
Yeah.
And are there performances where you have to play multiple instruments? Yeah.
Yeah. It's a little bit of a trend right now. So I've had a few concertos written for me, and 2 of them are for soprano and alto. And I think some of that is because the range of the saxophone is smaller than, say, the clarinet. And so when I say the range is smaller, I mean the immediately accessible range. Like we can go higher into altissimo, but it has a certain quality of like, oh, they're playing really high now. And yeah, but the range that is just lovely and nice is a little bit smaller than some of the other wind instruments. So I think composers like to have the variety, and also timbre, and like with string instruments, there's so many different ways you can bow, like sopant, all that kind of stuff, and so there's so much variance possible. I think we also have a lot of variation that's possible, but I think sometimes they want a huge color change, to go to another saxophone.
I see. And do you get these instruments from the manufacturer, or are there like saxophone dealers or woodwind dealers? Yeah,
there are dealers. You can also like I'm a Selmer artist, and so there's a factory or a factory in Elkhart, Indiana, and so I'll go to Elkhart and try out a bunch that they have there,
and then they just give it to you
for a nominal fee.
You get this for free dollars.
No. A little discount, but yeah. So
well, that's great though. So you how do you travel with all these instruments?
Yeah. So I have different cases with different configurations. So what I brought with me here is actually I brought a case that I'm hesitating because it's supposed to hold 3 saxophones, but currently it only holds 2 because one of the slots is not working correctly. But I could have just brought this triple case where I would have had my alto, soprano, and tenor.
And you don't check it, right?
No.
Overhead?
Yeah.
Or seat?
With those, I can put it overhead, and I usually try to fly either like economy or not, I mean like Comfort Plus or first class or something. So that they're not freaked out by it because it's a little bigger than it should be.
Normal.
But with the baritone saxophone, I do have to get an extra seat and think about that. So
that's a whole other thing.
Yeah. But then I have other cases that are just the soprano case, and then I have a soprano and alto case, and so.
So how many saxophones do you have at home?
Total 6.
6.
Yeah, but that I play 4.
Yeah, and you've named each and every one of them.
No,
they're all your children.
No, some of them have names. Some of them I don't like very much. Yes.
Well, so you have favorites.
Yeah.
And are you willing to share his names?
Well, So my soprano's name is Nina.
Okay.
Actually named after Nina Simone.
Right.
And my alto, this is Kalyana. It's short for Kalyana Mita, which means spiritual friend. It's sort of a Buddhist concept.
Yeah.
And then my tenor does not have a name because do not really like it. It was.
You're still in the market.
Yeah, it was my first professional instrument that I had, and I didn't really know what I was looking for. And it plays okay, you know, it works fine, but I didn't pick it. You know, it doesn't feel like, ooh, this is mine, and feels, you know, connected to me. So, and then my baritone's name is Amelia, which just came from nowhere.
All right. That's beautiful.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. It, you know, it speaks to your connection
Yeah.
with these instruments.
This is the alto saxophone.
Great. And what did you just play?
I played the theme from the last movement of Billy Child's concerto for saxophone and orchestra, which was written for me. And that's the opening of the quintet that we're premiering on Sunday.
Your piece.
Yeah.